So I got the unique opportunity to actually go to the shooting range today. I took one of my older kids with me, and I figured why not compare three 5.56 rifles that are currently on the market. So the first one we have is the Cetme L. Now I want to show you here, it looks like it's well oiled. Full disclosure, this part of the video was recorded after the shooting part. I'm going to tell you flat out before you see the shooting part that the Cetme L had some rough stoppages. It beat up the brass, which we knew it was going to, but it also had some failures to eject, and that was due to I took all three guns out of the box new, didn't oil them, didn't clean them, just to test them. The Cetme needed oil to run properly. Once it was oiled, it ran 55 grain brass perfect. Once the Cetme was lubed, it ran like a top. Like I said, it ran 55 grain mixed brass. So here we have my favorite rifle of the day, the Radom made Polish Beryl. This is set up as the VZ96. This style with the furniture would be the last way they had the rifle. Basically, Poland's last configuration with the collapsible stock and the quad rail. The only thing I was missing was a scope rail, which I'll get when they come in from Poland. So here we have a Bushmaster, basically a basic patrol rifle. It's got the Knight's CAC vertical grip. It's got a knockoff quad rail. It's really basic setup. It shot a little bit to the right. I didn't bring anything with me to adjust the carry handle, or I didn't really need anything. I just didn't adjust it. I just kind of shot over to the left to compensate, but I will adjust that in. You see the basic setup of it. It's got a sling point going through the sling, loop on the stock. So back to other rifles, we got the Cetme again. Honestly, the Cetme is my favorite rifle of the three as far as cool factor and in-hand feel. It just had a lot of hiccups at the range before it was oiled. So I would not want to have that as a service rifle. I would not want to base my family's defense or my self-defense on that rifle. But it's got some cool factor. The Beryl is probably first or second. They're neck and neck. And the Bushmaster was a great rifle, shot great, no issues, but it's an AR. They're as plain Jane and bland as they get. There's where the scope goes on the Beryl. That's the adjustable stock I was saying. It looks like an AK stock, but you can adjust it, I think, 4 positions. So here they are at the range. I had very high hopes for the three of them. The Beryl and the Bushmaster did not fail me or let me down. Now here's the part I'm going to tell you. That bag of ammo is just mixed. I don't even remember where I got it. So some of the issues with the Cetme could have been ammo related. But realistically, as soon as I put oil on the bolt carrier and I field stripped it and oil and lubed it and wiped off some of the excess, like grease, it went to the top. So here you see the first 34 shots, no issues. My shooting stance wasn't great today. It's about 100 degrees here. I was sweating bullets. Funny thing is, my daughter didn't break a sweat. Now here's the Beryl. One thing I'll tell you that I was having issues with is jumping platform to platform. So running the Cetme like an HK, and then switching over to an AK, and then to an AR, I kept forgetting how to do it. Not forgetting, but having to think about which gun I'm using and how to charge it. So that goes back to making sure when it comes to defensive guns, you practice with that platform. The Bushmaster is actually my rifle school. It's not a home defense firearm. I live in a smaller house, so I basically just use my duty pistol because I'm comfortable with it. So here's my oldest daughter shooting the Beryl.
Do something?
Now, she doesn't know anything about guns. I taught her basic gun safety and whatnot, but you see she didn't even put the rifle to her shoulder. She's kind of learning rifles. The only thing she's shot so far were 22 pistol and a 22 rifle. So I'm just happy that she took a shot with these. And then you will see, just a full disclosure, there's a couple times here where it looks like, oh, did he point that rifle over there? I was on a private range where there's cement on both sides, and I safety check the rifles before I move them every time. But there was nobody else shooting with us in this shoot house. You can hear guns in the background, but there are different shoot houses with different cement berms. But anyway, back to the rifles. Like I said, the Bushmaster was her favorite gun to shoot. Her least favorite was a Cetme because it threw the brass into her. And I guess because of the roller delay, you can see it kicked a little more than the other two. But there where she flinched, she took a piece of hot brass to the arm. Now here we are. I didn't realize she had an issue. Uh-oh. And this is where we started seeing it. They started dumping out rounds, both spent and unfired, which kind of frustrated me. So I moved on to the Beryl, which did not let me down. Just amazing quality. I wish these were a little bit more popular, as far as I wish you could get them a little bit easier. These are actually made in Poland by Radom Factory, by the military factory, under contract with the Arms of America. Again, here's the Bushmaster. It didn't fail. It ran bone dry, 100% reliable. It's just a great rifle. Like I said, I have the same exact rifle at work. The same model, rather. So I'm very familiar with that rifle. Again, I wanted to love this thing. I do love it. I just would tell you to break it down, clean it, and oil it well before you shoot it out of the box. Because where I could get 5 or 6 rounds, no problem, it wasn't consistent. We had a lot of jams. And I did use Cetme magazines. So it takes both the Cetme military magazines and the AR-15 Sten mag, like the standard mags. Look at that. So what it actually did was it crushed the head back into the casing. The actual bullet head is inside the casing, and there's powder just pouring out of that round. I was frustrated, but unfortunately I don't have post lube and oil videos. I didn't get a chance to shoot it on video, but it ran perfect after it was lubed. I kind of put the camera away and gave up on it, and then of course it ran perfect. Now here's more brass. There's no way you could own a Cetme L and think you're going to reload the brass. Not going to happen. Even properly lubed, it puts star marks and just deformed all the brass. The mags were tight going in, too. Here it failed to go in the battery. I couldn't figure out whether it was a mag. Some of it may be because it was so dry. It wasn't fully, like I wasn't pulling back hard enough on the charging handle and it wasn't going in the full battery. Again, now that it's oiled, it runs a lot smoother. Even when you dry, when you charge it, it's just a lot smoother. You don't have any drag anymore, so I don't know what it was. There was some thick black grease on the rolling cams, so it could be that. Look at this. This is the ammo. Not only is the brass completely deformed, but here's one that never even got to make it into the chamber because I guess it ran into the, I don't know, the feeding lips or something and crushed it. I will say out of the box, fit and finish is perfect on this. However, the Cerakote doesn't hold up. The safety scratched it up. The brass casing just hit the top of the receiver, took the Cerakote off of it. So if you want one of these for cool factor and just to have a Cetme L in your collection, in hopes that the value goes up, that might work. But don't shoot it because there's a couple range trips it's going to look used. Here I'm showing you the mag. That's the military issue mags. You don't have to use them. I decided to because they were cheap. And I wanted the rifle to run to military spec. However, military spec is this. The Spanish didn't use this rifle very long. I know that. It was quickly replaced, so maybe my rifle does run to military spec. Back to the Beryl again. Here we are. I'm like, I don't know the best way to do it. I'm jumping platform to platform. I usually don't do that. I wanted to basically give you my opinion on these three rifles. My opinion being the cool factor, the Cetme L's up there. For everything else, I think the Beryl also has cool factor, but also had 100% reliability. And the Bushmaster only loses points because it's an AR-15. I've had them over 20 years. I've been playing with them. So, I'm not wowed by it, but it ran like a top. No issues. I pretty much run my work rifle identical to that, except for it has a 1-4 Vortex on the top. Outside of that, it's the same exact rifle. These mags, I believe, are from Palmetto State. It's shipped with this mag. I was a little disappointed. It was supposed to ship with the Polish Radom mags. It didn't. It shipped with that. It's okay with me. The mag works flawless. I ordered a couple different mags for the Beryl. My favorite probably being the Bulgarian made ones because you know they're going to be quality and they're cheap. I did order some, I forget where they're made, but I think Croatia? I can't remember, but basically I ordered some from RTT and they were cheap as well. Here's a final look. The Macklemore made Cetme L. Quality out of the box as far as machining and finish and just the overall look was perfect. Quality out of the box without lubing the bolt carrier. Well, you saw what happened there. But after it was properly disassembled and lubed, it seemed to run better. there's not really anything I can say about the Beryl I haven't already said. It's just an amazing rifle. One thing I will say, it has all the Polish furniture on it. Like I said, it's set up like the VZ96, the most current configuration. And Poland's still using this rifle in large numbers. I know they went to the Grot rifle, but the Grot rifle had some teething issues, and they weren't churning out the numbers they needed to. So they most certainly are still using the Beryls. I hope they continue to use it, because I would hate to see them stop being imported. It's just an amazing rifle. Who would not want an AK-47 and 5.56? One that's battle proven, used by a NATO standing military, and based on the AK platform. Amazing rifle. There's the bayonets for them both. The AK bayonet's an AK bayonet, nothing much to say. The Cetme bayonet, again, has cool factor. But keep in mind, the Cetme was a 70s, I think. It was either late 60s or early 70s design. And I think they used it through the 80s and 90s. Or it may have actually been designed in the late 70s and then they used it through the 80s and 90s. But it's an older design, so it's hard to compare it to the other two. But there's the Bushmaster again. A rifle I like a lot. I mean, I would use other ARs. It just happens to be that I've used Bushmasters for quite some time and never had an issue. One more look. Again, just the Beryl's perfection. The Cetme, a gun I want to love. I'll probably keep it. It probably won't go on the chopping trade block, only because there's no more parts kits. They're all dried up, and I think it's a niche rifle at this point, and I don't think we're going to see them anymore, 10 years from now. So I'll probably hold on to it investment wise, collection wise. So that's the 3 rifles, guys. Like I said, cool factor, Cetme. Everything else, Beryl, plus the Beryl probably had close cool factor itself. And the Bushmaster is just what it is, Americana, Bushmaster M4. Until next time, guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, tell your friends. I know my videos aren't the best on the internet, but I try to put out content as much as possible. Everybody have a great 4th of July and a great night.